So today we will see the pin diagram of 8086. So Intel has launched 8086 in the year 1978. So it was the first 16-bit microprocessor. So by launching the 8086, it has overcome the execution speed and improvements over the 8085. And this 8086 is a 40-pin CER DIP, which means ceramic dual-in package. So 8086 is available in 3 versions. So based upon the frequencies, 8086, the first version is 5 megahertz, 8086 version 2, it is of 8 megahertz, and 8086 version 1, it is of 10 megahertz, and it consists of 29,000 transistors. So 8086 is using the technology NMOS, which means N-type metal oxide semiconductor, and 8086 is having 16 line of data bus and 20 line of address bus, and it is having of capacity 1 megabyte, and it has more than 20,000 instructions. So also it supports multiplication and division. So it is a pin diagram of 8086 microprocessor. So first, from pin number AD0 to AD14, so these are bidirectional pins. So these are multiplexed bidirectional address as well as data bus. So it carries the address and data lines. Next, from pin number 35 to pin number 38, these are unidirectional. These are multiplexed unidirectional address and status bus. It carries the address, clock cycles, and carry status signals. Next comes the BHE, which stands for bus high enable. So it transfers the data over higher order from D0 to D15. So it is also multiplexed with the status pin S7. Next, read bar. It is an active low signal, so it is used for reading. Next, ready pin, which is pin number 22, and it is an input pin. So it is used to transfer the data. So it is used to indicate when the device is ready, then to transfer the data. Also, it is used for acknowledging the signal from input output devices or memory, and it is an active high signal. Next, reset pin, which is pin number 22. So it is used to reset the system, and it is an active high signal, and it is an input pin. Next, INTR. So it is a pin number 18, and it is an input pin. It is active high, and it is level triggered. So it is used for interrupting the request signal. Next, NMI, non-maskable interrupt. It is of pin number 17. It is of input, and it is active high. First, it is an edge trigger interrupt. It is a non-maskable interrupt signal. So priority is given to NMI pin over INTR. Next is a test. So it is used to test the status of a microprocessor. It is a pin number 23, and it is of input pin. Next, clock. So it is of pin number 19. So it provides the basic timing operations for a processor. So it is a clock with 33% duty cycle. So frequencies are of versions 5 megahertz, 8 megahertz, and 10 megahertz. Next, VCC and ground. Pin number 1 and pin number 40 are for VCC, and pin number 20 is to ground. Next, Mn and Mx is of pin number 33, and it is an input pin. And Mn means minimum mode, Mx means maximum mode. Mn is of active high and Mx is of active low. So minimum mode means the microprocessor working with a single processor. Maximum mode means microprocessor working with multiple processor. Next, pin descriptions for the minimum mode. INTA, so it is an active low signal. So it is of pin number 24 and it is output pin. So it is used to interrupt the acknowledge signal. Next, ALE, which means address latch enable. It indicates the valid address for the address and data lines. It is of pin number 25. It is an output pin. Next, DEN, it is an active low. It stands for data enable signal. So it is used to separate the data and the address. So the trans receiver is used to separate the data and address. Next, DT/R, which means data transmit or receive signal. It is of pin number 27. It is an output pin. So it decides the direction of data flow through the receiver. When it is high, the data is transmitted. When it is low, the data is received. Next, M/O, which means memory or input output access. So it is of pin number 28 and it is an output pin. So it is this signal is used by the microprocessor to separate the memory access from the input output access. Next, write signal. It is of active low. So it is used to write the data from memory or the output device depending upon the status of the signal. Next, HLDA, it is called hold acknowledge signal. It is of pin number 30, a output pin. So it is issued after receiving the hold signal. It is active high. Next, hold, it is of pin number 31, which is an input pin. So it is used when the controller needs or the controller uses the data or the address bus and it sends the signal to CPU. When the microprocessor receives this signal, it issues HLDA to the controller. Next, the pin description for minimum mode. From pin number 24 to pin number 25, which is the queue status. So QS1 and QS0, and both are 0, no operation. And yes, QS1 is 0 and QS0 is 1. The first byte from the queue is fetched. When QS1 is 1 and QS0 is 0, it will empty the queue, and both are 1. The subsequent byte, which is next byte from the queue, will be fetched. Next, the status pins S0, S1 and S2, these are active low. So it indicates the operation being performed on the microprocessor. So as these are 3 lines, 2 raised to 3, which means 8 possible combinations. So when all are 0, it will acknowledge the interrupt. When S0 is 1, remaining both are low, it will read the input output. When S1 is 1 and remaining S2 and S0 is 0, it will write the output. When S2 is 0, S1 and S0 are high, it will halt. When S2 is high, remaining S1 and S0 are 0, it will fetch the opcode. And S1 is 0, remaining S2 and S0 are 1, it will read the memory. When S2 and S1 are high and S0 is 0, it will write the memory. And all are high, So it will work as passive. Next is a lock. So it is of pin number 29, which is an output pin. So this signal indicates that either processor should not ask to CPU to relinquish the system bus. When it gets low, all the interrupts are masked and the hold request is granted. So it is activated by using the lock prefix. On any instruction, I can operate this lock. Next, request and grant. These are request and grant pins at pin number 30 and 31, and these are the bidirectional pins. So after receiving this request, the CPU will send the acknowledge signal on the same lines. So the other processors are requested to the CPU to release these lines for the system bus. Thank you.